Gionee launched the A1 in India earlier this year, aiming it at the youth of the nation. At launch, Gionee claimed that the A series focuses on better battery life and good selfies. The updated A1 Plus gets a 20 megapixel front-facing camera and a massive 4550 mAh battery. Now, can it live up to Gionee's expectations? Well, let's find out. There is no denying that the Gionee A1 Plus is a big device. It has a 6-inch display and tips the scale at 226 grams, which makes one-handed use difficult. The fingerprint sensor is placed on the home button. There are capacitive touch buttons on either sides, and you can swap what they do, but they aren't backlit, which make them harder to find in the dark. Gionee has used metal for most of the back panel, but the end caps feel plasticky. The metal back makes the phone a little slippery, and given its bulk, you'll have to be a little more careful using it. There's a micro USB port, which is surprising considering that phones in this price range now come with a USB Type-C port. The big display on the Gionee A1 Plus has a full HD resolution. It produces vivid output and you can tweak its settings a little to suit your preferences. While viewing angles are good, sunlight legibility isn't all that great. Even with the brightness cranked up all the way, the screen was reflective. It does pick up a few smudges here and there, but it isn't a fingerprint magnet. To drive the A1 Plus, Gionee has opted for a MediaTek Helio P25 SoC, which is an octa-core processor clocked at 2.6 GHz. There is 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage, which is expandable to 256 GB. However, storage expansion comes at the cost of the second SIM, as the A1 Plus has a hybrid SIM slot. Now there's 4G and VoLTE as well. In terms of software, the Gionee A1 Plus runs on Android 7.0 Nougat with its custom Amigo UI on top. The custom UI ditches the app drawer and all icons are placed on the home screens. While notifications are available by swiping in from the notification bar, quick toggles have been moved to an iOS-like panel which you reveal by swiping upwards from the bottom of the screen. The settings app has been reordered, so you might need to search a little to find what you are looking for. Weirdly, it also has a tab called Features, which is a guide of sorts for features on the phone. You will also find toggles to enable various gestures that you can use as shortcuts. The phone comes with a considerable amount of bloatware pre-installed, and some of it is spammy. Apart from the Google Play Store, Gionee has its own G Store, which recommends apps to download. Overall, the UI is unusual and may take some time getting accustomed to. We ran our standard set of benchmark tests and the phone managed 65,452 points in AnTuTu. This performance is adequate for day-to-day usage, and the 4 GB of RAM does help when switching between apps. With our usage, we found that we had about 2 GB of RAM free on average after a day's worth of use. The massive 4550 mAh battery powers the phone through more than a day with medium use. We found that the battery did drain a little more rapidly than we expected when gaming. In our HD video loop test, the phone lasted for 14 hours and 43 minutes. Charging via the supplied 18-watt charger takes a little over 2 hours, and the phone does get hot in the process. Following the trend of dual camera setups, the Gionee A1 Plus gets a 13 megapixel and a 5 megapixel camera on the rear. The app has different modes to choose from, and you also get a professional mode that gives you some control over the camera settings. Photos from the Gionee A1 Plus are strictly average. Color reproduction isn't very accurate, and the phone occasionally gets the metering wrong. We also found purple fringing in photos clicked against the light. Objects at a distance do lose quite a lot on detail as well. The phone is restricted to 1080p video recording, and there is no 4K option. The front camera has a 20 megapixel sensor and a diffuse selfie flash. It takes good images, but they do appear flat. Surprisingly, the app does not have beautification mode to alter the output, but you get a few filters. The Gionee A1 Plus might be off-putting for some people because of its size. However, it offers a big battery and decent performance for its asking price. While the UI is usable, we still prefer stock Android. If you are specifically looking for a big screen phone with a big battery, then the A1 Plus makes sense. Otherwise, you could choose the Moto Z2 Play for the same price, or get the OnePlus 3T by spending a little extra. Thanks for watching. Do hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at Gadgets360.